It's no secret that a lot of us are looking at technology right now and wondering where it's going off to, and it feels like a runaway train. And that might be true for some people, but for others, it might be an opportunity to jump on that train and get into the steering shaft and help make sure the direction is the right one. And if you think about the future, we think about young kids who are learning computers right now and what's their mindset. And Mbanda Shyaka is somebody who is doing something very specific with the young minds of kids in Uganda. So I wanted to talk to Mbanda today about his company called TOD, which stands for Teachers on Devices. Now, what's so special about Mbanda is that he really is making a distinction. He's saying, a lot of people are teaching information and computer technology through sort of an entry point where you learn how to use computers. And he's basically saying, okay, we can learn how to use technology, but what about how to teach how to create technology? And that's one of the things that he thinks is lacking. And he is working in Uganda to work with students to give them that level of mentality, that kind of critical thinking, so that they look at technology as something that they can create and not just use. It's a very interesting distinction that I really want to riff on today. So Mbanda, thank you so much for being on Swell to lead us in this conversation. And I want to start off by I guess, a philosophical perch. Can you tell me about your philosophy on building your program, and what are the foundational thoughts that sort of anchor the work you do every single day? Because I think that if we understand your mission really clearly, it's going to help us see and examine, wow, are we seeing that in our own schools and our own experiences? Because I think we've got so much to learn from each other always. And I've been reading about your program, and I think it's fascinating. And you make some very nuanced but very important distinctions in education and engaging people to become leaders. So thanks for sharing your philosophy with us and how it fits into your company, and then we'll go from there. And welcome to Swell.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Wow. Swell. Nice. Yeah, so my name is Mbanda Shyaka. Um, well, I have the company called Todd Idea, but I also have another company called Code Impact. And that one I'm doing, working together with my brother. It's called Alex Nkusi Shaka. And it is such a blessing for me to work with my brother, biological brother, towards achieving a common goal that we're both passionate about, which is building up the African youth to grow up and become relevant players on the global platform, to contribute economically, politically, socially to the global platform as relevant players. We are very, very, very passionate about that. And we believe that technology is one of the ways that we can use to ensure that we empower the African youth. That is very foundational in what we believe. Yeah. So with our clubs, we run coding and robotics clubs, as well as digital animation clubs in schools. We also run holiday programs together with the Ministry of ICT here in Uganda, where we use one of their hubs in the city to provide mentorship to the youth and also to provide skilling. That is in digital animation as well as coding and robotics. Yeah. Our idea for tech skilling is that apart from teaching the skills of technology, which are very, very, very relevant, they're very important in creating jobs at a global stage, even at a local stage, but also very important for creating wealth through entrepreneurship. But apart from equipping the youth with those tech skills, we are also saying that while they're learning to create these technologies, these programs, they also get the offshoot benefits of being creative, learning creativity, because, you know, the whole endeavor of STEM education requires the students to be creative. So we are really building that muscle of creativity in the children, because it is a very essential 21st century skill that is needed to thrive in the 21st century. There are also skills like collaboration. I guess you've heard about all these. This is very important, and actually when I come to the aspect of collaboration, I'm quite passionate about that, because Africa faces a lot of challenges. We're being left behind. The rest of the world is moving forward, and we're being left behind. We have a lot of challenges. We're being exploited left, right, and center because of our resources. And as Africans, we need to collaborate. We need to work together around assumptions that we have both agreed and internalized, around values that we all hold dear. We generally need to collaborate around the challenges that we are faced as Africans. And therefore, building the muscle of collaboration among the youth is very, very important. Yeah. And actually that brings also another issue for me, because I'm now a humane technologist. I attended a course in humane technology, and one of the things that social media is doing to the whole world, not just Africa, is destroying our ability to collaborate. And as a side thing, I'm actually going to pay a lot of attention to bringing forward, shedding light on the ills of social media to African youth, so that they can become informed users of social media, and also that when they create the applications or software or technologies of the future, African software programs developed by Africans for Africans, that they...
Mbanda, thank you so much for adding to this conversation. I'm sorry you got cut off. You could always hit the reply button and continue speaking, always. But I'm going to take this opportunity to first of all, just comment on the observation that social media really does silo people, and collaboration sometimes is compromised because people are in their own worlds. And I know that we're fighting to understand how to mitigate that. I know you as an ethical, technical person now, who's really at the humane aspects, really focusing on the humane aspects of the digital experience. It's going to be a great synthesis between what you've just recently came away with the certification and how you're pushing forward with your project. I'm interested in hearing specifically any roadblocks that you tend to come up against in your programs, specific to kids that want to become educated in this particular specialty. Learning code, learning hardware, software, learning how to be creative. What are the big roadblocks from them having access? Is it economics? Is it geography? Is it just availability and access to equipment? Can you give us a sense of what you do when you're feeling like you want to grow your program and something is stopping you? What are those things that are in your way, and how are you dealing with them? Because I think you're an inspiration to people for sure, and I want to hear sort of a day in the life of when it comes to some of the decisions you make around how to choose your battles.
Wow, thank you very much. Yes, of course, we have challenges as far as spreading this work is concerned. The biggest challenge we have, number one, is that there is no government policy on teaching ICTs, computer science, in primary school. Just recently, there came up a policy for teaching computer science in secondary school, but in primary school it's not there. And that means that number one, school owners are not incentivized to invest in the learning of ICT. And number two, that students get to secondary school and are just beginning to touch the computer for the first time. Yeah. And that means that, they just look at computer science like a subject, just a subject, not as life. Yeah, so we're in to close that gap, but of course to close that gap requires us to act at scale. And the way we do our work usually is that we come with the equipment to the school. We come with tablets. We also come with our own curriculum and our own tutors. We deliver a lesson in one school. Then we move away with our equipment to the next school. And so for us to have such a big impact, we need equipment. And, robotics equipment is not cheap at all. So yes, there is the problem of economics in a big way. If you're really going to want to stay, at par with the best, the equipment is a big issue. Also, of course, robotics equipment is a problem to carry around. Yeah, we're dealing with distances. Sometimes we have to jump on bikes, borders. We call them in Uganda, we call them borders. They are bikes which we use for hire, like taxis. Yeah, but bikes. Yeah, roads may be bumpy and all that, and, breakages. Sometimes robotics equipment have small parts, and you're dealing with a big group. Yeah, so we have those challenges. However, we came up with a solution which we call the Tech Rise Kit. The Tech Rise Kit uses a tablet, an Android generic. There's no more generic Chinese Android tabs. Hooked up to another gadget called a microbit. I'm sure you know about the microbit. And the beauty behind the microbit is that you can teach coding and teach robotics on just that microbit. It's a very small gadget. Hook it up to the tablet, and then you're able to teach. Also, the cost of the microbit is quite low. I think about $10 to $15 each. The tablet also is about $80. I think when with inclusive of taxes, everything paid up to here to Uganda. So for $100 or so, you can teach about 4 children in that 4 children a day, because we practice what we call pair programming, so that the children can work together on a single gadget. And so you can teach 2 children in the morning session and then another 2 children in the afternoon session. Yeah, so there's about 4 kids on just one gadget of less than $100. Oh, by the way, there's also a wireless keyboard as part of the Tech Rise kit. So it's wireless keyboard, the tablet, and the microbit. The keyboard, of course, would be teaching coding, this syntax bit of coding. Yeah. So just that kit, we can be able to teach a lot of children. So if we have about 1,000 kids, you're talking about teaching 4,000 children in a day. If you multiply that by 5 days a week.
Wow, you really can scale this with the numbers you're talking about, because the microbit is such a cool hub for teaching multiple students at the same time. I love that you came up with that kit. Wow, this is so exciting. I had this dream when I was, but I was listening to you speak, and I was thinking about the students you reach and the ones that get the bug and they want to really take this to the next level and apply it and go for further studies and become the person you want them to be. Your vision of these students probably is to give them these skills so that they can move into the world and create. I'm just wondering if there's any way we can connect to some of the voices of the people that you've worked with, especially ones that have benefited, just to get them to start talking about the program. I mean, even having a Swellcast dedicated to the problems and the solutions and the success stories, so people can hear and track what this means to a life, to a single life that gets exposed to this. I'm wondering if we can coordinate that. I'm putting a bug in your ear, how we can create a Swellcast that everyone with a phone can connect to and start talking about this program. And it would be great for funders as well to understand how this impacts kids and the stories they tell. That's a thought I have. I wonder what you think.
Good. Let me work on getting some of the guys, surely. I'll need to share this Swell link with them and see how we can get them on board to add their replies as people that we've inspired with our work. Thank you. That's a very good direction.
Hello. I'm happy to be here. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to give much thanks to Mr. Shyaka for his great program. I am Mr. Brighton. I'm a student at university pursuing a bachelor's degree in science and technology. So I was first inspired by Mr. Shyaka during our primary and our secondary, where they used to come in with tutors giving us great knowledge and understanding of this technology and how it would benefit more. As of now, I'm working with a digital communications company with the little skills I managed to get from this program. I really appreciate his efforts. Thank you very much.
Hey, Ty, wow, that's such an incredible connection between what you study and then the work you're doing. Sometimes people go to school and they learn things, but they don't know how to apply them in the real world. And it feels like what you've studied with Mr. Shyaka has given you the tools and the confidence to go out in the world and make a change and create and innovate and solve problems, which is a beautiful, beautiful life. It's really nice to hear your voice, and I hope to hear more stories about your studies and your life. And you seem so full of gratitude and excited, and I'm sure you have many incredible opportunities in years ahead to do the work you're doing. Welcome to Swell, and thank you so much for being here.